Today it is the 6th Sunday of the year, and this is my 5th half marathon of the year. It is the 6th of February, Sunday the 6th of February today. And again, I am not looking forward to this morning's run. I think I've had to put the light on because it's so dark outside. I think if you can see out there, it is, if you can just see that tree, it is blowing a gale, it is wind, it is rain. It's going to be horrendous this morning. My commitment is seriously going to be tested. Now, again, whispering, kids aren't up yet, and long may that continue. Now, after I've finished this run, which will be precarious, I've got to say to you, in these conditions, apparently we're going to go ice skating a bit later on today, which is something that's not been attempted by me for nearly 20 years. So apparently we're going ice skating. That was an unauthorised promise, but it appears that that's what we're doing. So I've got a day fraught with danger today. If I can just get past the first bit, and the second bit hopefully will slot in. I've got some good memories of ice skating, to be honest, solo ice rink. I still never really got the hang of actually sort of gliding about on the ice. I just sort of like ran on the ice. There used to be a DJ there, used to play Now That's What I Call Music 6. And when I'd finished sprinting around on two knives around the ice, I'd get into the cafe, have a slush puppy and queue up to play Asteroids. So I'm hoping that it will be as I found it. Today's GARMS, just in case you wanted to know, it's my wind cheater. I think this is probably quite cool, or cooler than me. My wife calls it my Auntie Dorothy top. I've named after an elderly relative because she thinks that it looks like something that she would have worn during the 1980s. Personally, I think it's pretty cool. It's like the sort of thing that will.i.am would wear. I've also got, to complete my goals, a hat which might look ridiculously stupid. It looks like a tower. If you listen to it, it's quite crunchy and crinkly. Apparently it's waterproof. It's called seal skins, and apparently it will provide me with protection from the elements. So this morning, I'm aiming to take you why I've done this, but it's in the wide open space, so I can't think I'll be in too much. I'm going to take you to Earlswood Lakes, which in the wind and the rain, I think is going to be a really pleasant experience. And I'm going to try, if I can, to talk to a fisherman today. I'm going to try. They never want to talk, but I'm going to try and talk to a fisherman. Or at the very least get someone to say good morning back to me, because I've not been very successful so far. Right, look, I'll catch you out there on the track. I'll see you at Earlswood Lakes.
So, good morning. We are about 7 miles in this morning. It's been horrendous. The sun's come out now, but it was horrible. I had to take off the hat. It kept rustling, like wearing a bag for life. Talking of which, I've been working on these. I'm going to stop in a minute and have a chat. Just coming up to Earlswood Methodist Church, which is convenient if anything happens to me breathing. God is on hand. Probably ask who I am. I'll tell him about my charity work. Right, I'm going to stop here. This used to be my little favourite place. I always used to stop here. We're just up ahead is closed woods, just outside Earlswood Lakes, and I always used to stop here for an energy gel. Nameless, an energy gel. Nameless because when this kicks off, which is I'm going to be sent energy gel through the post to sponsor. So yeah, I had this idea about 5 years ago that I would stop here every Sunday morning and take a selfie in the same place. And the idea was that at the end I'd have this collage of 52 and you'd see the seasons changing and all that sort of stuff. It didn't really work because Solihull's not really like Greenland, where you get sort of excessive weather changes, you know. And seasons changing. It's my David Attenborough, I'm going to work on that. New science and new technologies. I'll try that a bit better, but it was not like that. So actually what I was left with was a collage of 52 pictures of just a man standing in a very murky sort of grey desert. About 10 photos of me wearing a vest with a red face, and that was probably about it. What else to tell you? Struggling a bit this morning. I I'd proper go for it. So I had a very, very small craft ale, which wasn't quite the train spotting moment that I thought it might be. I just felt a bit tired, a bit bloated, and then I made a mildly controversial comment about one of my wife's friends, and a bit of an awkward silence, and I was sent to bed. It doesn't happen often, but I think someone's got very excited, a little overexcited, don't you? I think some of us need to go to bed, don't we? So I left her watching Virgin River down in the lounge. I went upstairs to sleep it off. Right, in a minute I'm going to carry on to Earlswood. Now when I get down to Earlswood, there'll be loads of people there because it's a bit of a mecca for dog walkers and fishermen and all that sort of stuff. And because I've dropped a bit of a social clanger last week, which I still haven't got over, I'm going to deliberately now I'm getting more confident with my selfie stick. I'm going to run in amongst people with my selfie stick and shout good morning in all directions and see if I can get some responses. And my ambition today is to talk to a fisherman. I desperately want to talk to a fisherman. I had a go at fishing once. I went with a mate about 20 years ago, and I thought, well, this would be great. This would be all the things I like. I like being outside, I like nature, and I could just sit and sort of natter all day, you know, and eat sandwiches and stuff. But I missed the point because a lot of people like fishing because it's a chance for sort of tranquility and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not that good with awkward silences, as you can tell. So my mate in the end sent me off the bank. I just sat in my car all day, which is fine. Listen to Tom Ross on BRMB. Anyway, right, look, I'll see you down at Earlswood Lakes, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, now you just missed me, or you might have seen it, get blanked by 4 consecutive fishermen. And I've got to build up to this because I bottled it a little bit. I was half-hearted, and I think one of the things is the selfie stick is putting them off because I don't want to be caught on camera. So I'm going to try and approach one, but I'm going to have to keep the selfie stick down by my side so you'll hear the conversation flowing freely. Look, I'll get up to the top and then we'll do a bit of history. I love this segment. Right, so here we are, Earlswood Lakes. Now look, to that side you've got the engine pool, and to this side I believe you've got Terry's pool. Now this apparently was dug out in 1820, and it's supposed to be done to sort of top up and to take water away from the Grand Union Canal. Now interestingly enough, this was built and dug out by some prisoners of war from the Napoleonic Wars. There you go, there's a stat from you. So there it is, so the engine pool and Terry's pool. Now the engine pool kind of makes sense, to be honest with you, because usually the engines power some of these things, I would imagine, in the Industrial Revolution. I don't know, I didn't pay attention. But Terry's pool seems slightly silly. And it's usually, I can't think it's named after a Napoleonic prisoner of war called Terry. Doesn't sound very French. But, and also, why would they name it after him? You normally name it after people who have died, unless he was just a very incompetent digger. Either way, strikes me as a reward for nothing, to be quite honest with you. So, morning. Hiya, morning. So, that's in the chat then. Today's question is going to be, right, what is the worst thing to be named after the worst person? So, you know, what sort of monument, tower, whatever, named after the worst person? I'll think about that. Actually, I've already thought about it. Here's a start for 10, Savile Row in London. Awful, awful. Right, now I am going to try and talk to a fisherman before I leave Earlswood Lakes behind. I've got to try and find one. Selfie stick down by my side. I just don't know whether I'm going to get that lucky. I'm trying to look for an umbrella somewhere. The smell of sort of Benson and Hedges and maybe a tuna sandwich. Either, well, if I can't find a fisherman, I'm just going to content myself with saying good morning to someone and someone saying it back. I'm going to keep running. Morning. Got one. A really awkward moment then at a gate when I didn't really have right of way and I went through it anyway, and I should have. That's 8 miles. and I should have waited for an old guy and I didn't. Also, another really embarrassing moment this morning was when I keep seeing my mate Fred running every Sunday morning, and we stop for about 5 minutes. How's work? Oh, not very good. You? Me neither. Look forward to it. And today I passed this guy and I thought it was Fred, so I slowed down, went running towards him. He crossed the road to run to me, and halfway across the road we realised we didn't know each other, and we just sort of stuck our thumbs up and carried on. Anyway, and so this pretty well brings me to the last lap. It has been fairly unpleasant this morning, I won't lie to you, but as ever, music has raised my spirits, and so today's song to go into the playlist, if you haven't already started following it, Middle-Aged Running Man on Spotify. The song of the morning, just to prove that I can go a bit more modern, because I think most of you have probably realised that most of my tracks consist of 80s movie soundtracks and turgid 90s ballads. But song of the morning is Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars. Absolute belter. I enjoyed that this morning. And I'm going to throw another cheeky little number into the playlist, just in honour of the fact that I'm going ice skating later. I'm going to throw in Borderline by Madonna. Always reminds me, for some reason, of breaking my legs. Clearly, there's work to be done to converse with a fisherman. I think I could actually do with some bait to try and lure them into a convo. Maybe I have to take a bag of sandwiches, but we've got all year, and I'm confident it's going to happen. And of course it will. Of course it will. Remember the question of the day: the worst monument named after the worst person. Suggestions in the chat. Like, subscribe, do whatever. Put it on a blogcast. No idea. And I think in about 2 seconds my work here is done. And
14.00 miles average pace.
All done. 14 miles. That's run number whatever. It's killing me, this. Anyway, signing out for now. Wish me luck at the ice rink.